Well, another week that we are going to go through and we are going to crush some props here. Now, we titled this every single week, Idiot Gets Crushed, because one of these days, this idiot will get crushed. But I think we have won 7 weeks in a row. When is the last time we had a losing week? Going to be super happy to dive into some props. I had way more than 5. Of course, you can go and check out your own over here on Underdog Fantasy. I'm going to narrow it down to 5, though. Our top 5. And as I set up this live stream, throw a thumbnail on this bad boy, etc. Make sure you go down there, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. And if you see any props that you really like, make sure you let me know down there in the comment section so we can help each other out. But of course, the main thing is, if you want to check out any of these props, this is Underdog Fantasy, the same platform that you've seen us do hundreds and hundreds of drafts on. They have weekly best ball drafts that you can get on with us in the live stream. And they have all these player props that you can go through and check out. And when you sign up with promo code FLOCK, they will match your first deposit dollar for dollar. So it's pretty much free for you to check out. Just make sure you're going through the link in the comment section, the link in the description of the video, the link in the live chat. And when you sign up with promo code FLOCK, not only are they going to match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to 100, but you know, anybody who had been signed up like a month ago at this point, I don't exactly know when we ran this special, got this Cooper Kupp free bet at over under half a receiving yard. Well, week 9, we are going to be doing something very similar. I don't know exactly what player we haven't chosen yet, but week 9, we are going to give you a free bet very similar to the Cooper Kupp one. So make sure you go to the comment section. Let me know which one you would like. And this is only going to be for people who use promo code FLOCK. So make sure you go in that link in the comment section. Go sign up with promo code FLOCK because you're not going to have like this special with anything else. But I think that should be it. Let's go ahead and let's dive into our results last week. You know, we have to go through, hit the results first. And our first one, actually, I guess, never mind. This was from what we did on Thursday last week, way back when, not even on Sunday. So, of course, we hit the over on DeAndre Hopkins, 69.5 receiving yards. Looking at the next one, our number one of the week. This was the Najee Harris plus 17.5 rushing yards. Like we said, I figured Raheem Mostert was probably going to have more rushing yards, which he did. But if you add that 17.5 to Najee Harris was able to go out there and he was able to take that down, which helped. Thank you, Najee. Thank you. It would have been embarrassing for us to say all day Sunday, take this, take this, take this, and then it not hit. And then our next one, Jimmy G under 33.5 is one of the props that did not hit for us last week. I mean, yes, it was a great situation in Kansas City. This matchup was perfect, but we were like, I mean, how often does Jimmy G actually get here? And then our next one, of course, we had a flex, and y'all take our guy, Jalen Waddle, over 63.5. That hit higher than Nick Chubb, 71.5. This seemed like that free Cooper Kupp bet. I have no idea what Underdog was doing, giving us the 71.5 rushing yards for Nick Chubb. And we also took the under on TJ Hockenson. My thought process with this was, okay, well, you're not going to have Amon-Ra St. Brown missing this game. I mean, hell, DeAndre Swift's going to play. So if you have both Amon-Ra St. Brown and DeAndre Swift playing, the target share for TJ Hockenson's going to go down. Hockenson's not going to get that same. Well, then DeAndre Swift got ruled out after the video. Then Amon-Ra St. Brown ended up going off the field. What, after the first play, his first reception? So I think that it was not a bad call. We may be going back to it. We may be going back to this one this week. But that should be it for a recap of last week. Y'all know we have been pumping the Leonard Fournette less than 86.5 rushing yards. It's been the number one player prop we've been saying all week. Was on Thursday. We're going to include in our official bets, though. That did hit on Thursday. But now going forward, here's our first one. Jerry Jeudy, 49.5 receiving yards. We're going to take the higher than. Now with Jerry Jeudy here, 100%. This is a horrendous offense. This is not a matchup I'm excited about. They're playing in London. Do we really have to get Russell Wilson on a primetime standalone game yet again? Disgusting. And if you're looking at Jerry Jeudy, this is about what he's averaged so far this season. He's been averaging about, I want to say like 55, 60, 56 receiving yards per game. But we have to look at the context into this, right? Because Jerry Jeudy is fully healthy. With Jerry Jeudy, there have been 2 weeks that he did not get to 49.5 receiving yards. That first week was week 2 when he left that Houston Texans game right at the very beginning. And then in week 3, whenever he was a game time decision, we thought he wasn't going to play. He ended up playing, I think, just because they had no Patrick, they had no Hamler, they really had nobody else. They're like, Jerry Jeudy, my man, you gotta go out there. I don't care if you're limited. You just have to do something for us. He went out. He didn't do much. He had 17 receiving yards. But outside of that, if we look at the healthy weeks for Jerry Jeudy, 102 yards, 53 yards, 53 yards, 54 yards in this past week, 96 with 11 targets. So I think, honestly, the injured games are skewing the data here. And if we just go and look at healthy Jerry Jeudy, he's getting to this very often. So we are going to go ahead. We are going to take the Jerry Jeudy 49.5, even if 100%, I admit, we don't want to be betting on Russell Wilson. Now going over to our next one, TJ Hockenson, less than 41.5 receiving yards. With Hockenson, I mean, going right back to what we said last week, I think when you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, when you have DeAndre Swift, both healthy in this offense, then those targets that are going to Hockenson closer to the line of scrimmage, I mean, yes, he's still going to get funnel targets. And for our best ball teams, I'm hoping that I'm wrong here. I'm hoping that Hockenson proves us wrong. Hockenson has a better day. I just think that the target volume is going to go back towards those other players, where we look at Hockenson at the beginning portion of the season, before we had the Amon-Ra St. Brown, before we had the TJ Hockenson injuries. I mean, Hockenson was not getting here. 38, 26, 18. He's gotten here twice. I was back against Seattle when you had no DJ Chark, no Amon-Ra St. Brown, no DeAndre Swift, no Jameson Williams. There against Seattle, he goes through and has 179 receiving yards. This past week, whenever you had Amon-Ra St. Brown knocked out at the very beginning of the game and no DeAndre Swift, he got to 48. But honestly, the less than is still hit here, 4 out of 6 weeks. So I think especially when we get these healthy players back in, taking the less than. Going over to our next one, we have Khalil Herbert. This is the lock of the week, okay? This is the lock of the week. What the hell are they doing putting him at 50.5 total yards? I understand, yes, with Herbert, he actually has gotten here very often, okay? If we're going to be pulling this up right now, he has been one of the most efficient running backs in the NFL. 6.2 yards per carry. He has looked phenomenal. For this reason, a lot of people are saying, oh, Khalil Herbert's eventually going to be the starter. I can't buy that, even though he has been phenomenal, even though he has gotten to this mark. I mean, in weeks 3, 4, 6, and 7. Weeks 3 and 4, you had no David Montgomery, okay? Weeks 3 and 4, you had no David Montgomery. I think we can remove those safely and just look at the other ones. And if we're looking at the other weeks when David Montgomery's played, 9 carries, 4 carries, 4 carries, 7 carries. This past week, 12, but that's in a contest where the Chicago Bears put up 33 freaking points. I'm no mathematician, but I think that if we take a step back, if we look at Chicago, they're not scoring 33 points very often. They're not going to get that many plays off, and he's not getting involved as a pass catcher at all. If we're looking at his targets in games with David Montgomery playing, 1, 1, 0, 0, 2. So the man is averaging less than a target a game with David Montgomery playing. The man's averaging like 5 to 6 carries per game. This is a horrendous matchup going up against the Dallas Cowboys. In my opinion, this is the easiest prop of the week. This is the easiest. Please go take the less than 50.5, because I think when a lot of people take it, it's probably going to go lower. Now, our next one, we're going to go higher than 236.5 passing yards for Dak Prescott going up against Chicago. Yes, there's a massive spread on this game. Yes, the Dallas Cowboys are favored by, I believe, about 8.5, 9.5 points, depending on the sports book that you're looking at. And with Dak Prescott, he has not gotten here so far. I mean, going up against a very soft defense last week, he only had 207 passing yards against the Detroit Lions. 100%, a little scary, but we have to keep in mind the context. That's a game that gets out of hand, and they're able to just run the ball over and over and over again with Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard in the second half. I actually think no Ezekiel Elliott is going to lead to Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys maybe having to throw the ball just slightly more. Trust me, I think Tony Pollard is going to be a must-start player. I think you need him in your starting lineup. He's going to have a great game. But if we're looking at this Dallas Cowboys offense, well, like I said, they've been great. These running backs are phenomenal. So far this season, you have 852 rushing yards. Let me get out a little calculator here. Let's divide 852. Pretty much all of this coming from those two running backs. We'll divide that by 7. It's 121 rushing yards between these two RBs per game. Do we think that Tony Pollard goes out there and has 121 rushing? No, I think Tony Pollard's player prop on Underdog this week is like 60, 70 rushing yards. We're staying away from it. But I think that you probably have the rushing production coming down slightly for Dallas, and they lean on the pass a little bit more. So I like the over on the 236.5 passing yards. But now our next one, here is the, what's it called? I don't know if you wanted to make a drinky game watching our videos every time I say Josh Jacobs, my most drafted player in fantasy this year. Josh Jacobs winning us a lot of money. I got to flex on y'all with that. And I have to bring that context in here to try to show you that I'm going against my guy. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. The total yards this week between Alvin Kamara and Josh Jacobs, you're getting an extra 5.5 if you go with Kamara. You're getting Kamara plus 5.5. Now, I thought Kamara was going to be taking a step back when you eventually had Jameis Winston coming back in, when you had Thomas coming back in, when you had Jarvis coming. No, you've had all of Winston, Thomas, Jarvis already ruled that they're not playing this week. If none of them are playing, and we are yet again just rolling into this situation where you have Alvin Kamara with Andy Dalton as his quarterback, where Andy Dalton can't throw the ball to anybody else. Hell, I think we kind of have to go with Alvin Kamara plus 5.5 compared to Josh Jacobs. If this was even, I don't know if we're going to take it, but plus 5.5, it is interesting. If we look at the past 3 weeks with Jacobs, the man's crushing like 150 rushing yards a week. Of course, I don't want to bet against our guy, but if we're going to be fair as well, all of those games were contests where the Raiders were winning pretty much the entire game. Even the contest that they lost against Kansas City Chiefs, they're winning that game the entire way. So I think this is a spot where maybe they're not winning the entire way. I don't know. We're going to go Kamara plus 5.5. Honestly, with how many good play props they are this week, I hate myself for taking this one. I think that should be it. We're back with the recap. So, of course, if you want to check out any of these player props on Underdog Fantasy, if you want to crush with us, our 7th week in a row crushing, make sure you go to the link in the comment section, the link in the description, the link in the live chat. Sign up for Underdog. Use promo code FLOCK. They'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100 with promo code FLOCK. Available in damn near every state. And also, go to the comment section for only users with promo code FLOCK. It's not this week, but we are going to have another special line similar to the Cooper Cup one we did a month ago for y'all. We're going to have a couple of these this season, which I'm very excited about. So, of course, go to the comment section. Let me know, what special line do you want next week? Do you want Derrick Henry, less than, more than half a rushing yard? Let me know if that is what you want. And of course, this is only going to be available for people who use promo code FLOCK. So you can find that link in the description. Find it in the comment section. Go deposit $10 on Underdog. Have $20 in your account the next week when we fire up that special bet. But you have to sign up for Underdog before that special bet is entered. So make sure you do that ASAP. Then bet the $20 on the free one. But I think that's all I got for you. Of course, thank you so much. Hopefully we have another good day today. And we're one like away from hitting 100 likes in the live stream. So if you want to go down there and drop that like, I definitely would appreciate it. I appreciate all of y'all as is. And we will be live streaming later today, all injury updates. And we will also be live streaming late tonight, going through and looking at, all your fantasy football questions. But thank you again. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great day if we don't get to see you out in the live stream. And hook 'em Morns. OU sucks, even if we're on a bye.